thank you all for joining the webinar today. So today we will be talking about PRAESENSA and enhancing safety and ambience with superior sound. So for today, I will be presenting this webinar today. Maarten Wings, I'm Marketing Manager in EMEA for Public Address and Voice Alarm, based here out of Eindhoven, the Netherlands. So what do we want to talk about today? We want to talk about PRAESENSA, which is our public address voice alarm platform, IP-based. And we specifically want to talk about this added value beyond safety applications. I want to run you through the features and application areas where added value beyond safety is desired, and also how PRAESENSA is capable to deliver that promise towards your customers. That actually is that PRAESENSA is much more than just a voice alarm system in use. So what topics will we have? First, I will discuss a little bit about product positioning and where we see options and possibilities with PRAESENSA delivering added value beyond safety applications. I would like to run you through a few application areas where this would be of relevance. Then I will discuss about the components that you need for this solution. And then I will shortly brief you on some marketing materials that we have created to deliver this customer story towards the market. And then we will have the wrap up and the Q&A. So let me first start with the product positioning. So if you look at target applications on the market, you can basically divide them in two main areas. So one is the area on the left side where you have a requirement for announcement as also BGM, which stands for background music. And you have a typical area where you have your announcements only. So this obviously runs from small systems to larger systems. And if we would now look at segments, we would say at the smaller side, these are the compact and easy installations, usually not so complex, usually also not really coming to market on a tender. These are the small, mid-sized offices, maybe a school, some retail outlets, etc. Then we have the mainstream area, which is kind of the mid-sized application area. Typically, this would be one building. You could think here about a hotel, an office, education facilities, factories, or mixed-use buildings, and exhibition center, for instance. Then we have the larger facility, usually very focused on the public address announcements. Think about areas like airports where the gate calling is taking place and the traveler information is being announced. Same goes for railway systems, metro stations, but also applications like power plants, oil and gas, where mostly the public address or voice alarm is at the forefront. And then we have the area which leans much more towards the announcements as also the background music, where ambience and experience is also important next to a voice alarm which caters safety. So here suddenly music quality is important next to the speech intelligibility of the PA and voice alarm. And we are thinking here about applications where both come into play, like shopping malls, cruise ships, fashion stores, casinos, typical applications where leisure time is being spent. This is where next to safety, also the ambience and the customer experience becomes important. So if you look here now at the blue fields, this is actually where PRAESENSA is focusing. So we have a system which can do both. It can do announcements, voice alarm, but it can also do music streaming quite well. And we are basically targeting these systems from the mid-range up to the upper level. This is where the product portfolio of PRAESENSA is positioned. Now, if you look at the red box, this is basically that application area where you have the combination of both. So this is where you want to have a safety, obviously, because it's also mandatory to have a voice alarm in case of evacuation. But next to that, there is also a desire for delivering, for instance, added value beyond safety, which could mean background music or public address announcement, live speech, something which we could support with superior sound. And even within that box, we have here the mid-range market, which are the medium-sized systems, which very often is addressed on the market with a very evac-focused approach. So you have here systems which are very cost-efficient positioned, but they are only focusing on delivering a voice alarm in case of safety needs. Very often these systems are invested in next to the fire alarm system, and they're kind of seen as a mandatory investment for the customer to do to even open the building. Audio quality is usually not looked after very carefully. It is really something which is installed in the most cost-efficient way. Hopefully you never use it, but in case that an evacuation is needed, the voice alarm system does its job and gets the people evacuated. But if we now look in the box, which we have here with the red framing, you see that the verticals which are in here actually have more needs. They, of course, need to have voice evacuation, but they also need this ambience and they also need this experience for their customers. And today, very often, they are investing in two systems to deliver this. Well, actually, if you look at the PRAESENSA portfolio, we have such a good audio quality, we would actually be able to go to the customer and say, you know, you could leverage your installed infrastructure, not only for your mandatory voice alarm, but you can use it also for applications beyond. And this is actually what this presentation is about, and where we also see a differentiation option for us to set ourselves apart from those systems on the market who are only focusing on just a cost-efficient voice alarm. So if you look at our PRAESENSA portfolio, actually the full portfolio, see that PRAESENSA is on the right-hand side, and there you see our different PRAESENSA product positionings. Let me move this window aside. Yeah, okay. So you see PRAESENSA small, PRAESENSA large, and PRAESENSA, I called it multi-system. So it's specifically this PRAESENSA small, actually, where we also have the small system controller, where we can address this mid-range market. So the PRAESENSA small system controller is a more cost-efficient version of the large system controller, which allows us to enter this mid-range segment of the market with a more attractive price point. So now I want to run you through some application areas where this where enhancing safety and ambience with superior sound is actually required. So let's look here at a typical mid-sized application. So this is kind of a restaurant. This could be a multi-purpose venue where you would have obviously your typical need for a voice alarm application. So this is also what the traditional solution is offering. Most systems on the market, they have a very strong focus on delivering the voice alarm with a strong link to fire. Very often also sold as a package. But if you look at this venue, there is actually need beyond the safety, and that is not addressed efficiently today. So what we can deliver with PRAESENSA is that next to the voice alarm, we truly also offer a good speech intelligibility on live speech, for instance, but also on commercial message playing, also on background music that is being played, simply because the audio quality of the PRAESENSA system is so high that we are able to deliver that. And it's not only the audio quality which is of good performance, but lately we have also introduced a few new product features which allows the end user really to leverage the PA system for such use. Let me show you the concept here. So what is the concept of enhancing safety and ambience beyond superior sound? So we have this environment now where next to the voice alarm, we also need these good vibes. This is actually the picture on the left. We want to give a pleasant customer experience during leisure time. So why do we believe we can do this with Presensa better than we can do this with competition? Well, first of all, because the high dynamic range of the system is greater than 110 dB, which is absolute excellent. Just as a reference, a CD quality is sitting at 96 dB, so we are even exceeding CD quality. And we also have the loudspeakers in the portfolio so that you really experience a nice warm sound coming from the voice alarm system or the PA system that is installed, that is really delivering good audio quality. But it's not about only the system sitting there, you also need to control the system. So this is something which we now can do in a quite efficient way. So what we can offer to the customer to make use of the installed infrastructure is a mobile client on which he can install an application that he can use to control the music sources in the zone. So imagine you now have your mobile client that you can select a playlist, for instance, for playing background music in the retail area. You can tune the volume of that music. You can change playlists. You can stream internet radio. These are all capabilities that you can do from this mobile client. So basically, you have the control of your installed PA infrastructure in the pocket of your trousers. Very nice application, something which not many can do on the market. We also have the wall control panel for music control. So you see it here on the right-hand side in the picture. This is something which can be installed anywhere in the room, and it allows you to control the music as well. You can select the music source, and you can also tune the volume. So where is this now handy? And let me now bring you into the context of the customer. So for instance, here we have a shopping mall where people spend leisure time. And let's hope an evacuation is not needed. In the stores, there will be background music played, or if you have the corridors of the shopping mall as well, usually you have some speakers which are installed in the corridors, and there they are playing some background music just to get the right vibe in the shopping mall for people to basically spend more money. Well, in case of emergency, the shopping mall needs to be evacuated. So now we can have the Presensa system installed in this area, basically delivering both use cases. Let's hope an emergency never happens. 99% of the cases that is also not required. During that time, you are using the infrastructure to play nice background music with high quality. So let's look at a conference room at a venue. So let's take a hotel. Very often they rent out conference areas for conferencing to companies or whatever. Or if you look at universities, or if you look at other venues where they do conferencing, you have a need for quite some audio support. And actually with Presensa, we could deliver this. So we anyway need to have a PA system or a voice alarm system installed because of the emergency use case. But next to that, we could also have somebody who is delivering live speech. He's giving a presentation somewhere at the stand. And we can have his microphone plugged in over a Dante connection or an analog to Dante connection into the Presensa system. And we can use the speakers that are installed inside the ceiling of that specific room to deliver the live speech to the audience. At the moment where we have the break, we announce the break on the screen. Everybody knows that it's now time for some coffee. We can change the audio to some background music to keep everybody entertained until the presentation continues. Yeah. When the presentation continues, we can make an announcement with a pre-recorded message, or we do a live speech from a call station, informing everybody that the presentation is going to continue in 2 minutes and everybody needs to take their seat. Usually, if you would deliver these use cases, often there are dual systems installed. But if you look at the PRAESENSA system and the flexibility that we have with the zoning, which we can really tune down to one specific room, and also the options that we have to control the sound and the sound delivery, the sound quality that we can deliver, we can actually tackle this with one system. So here is another ambience. This is a cafeteria example. It could also be maybe a canteen in an office building, where we also have the use case of safety in case of emergency, but also playing background music while leisure time. Also here we can use this wall control panel, or we use this mobile client to select the right music source and play the music. So what's the topic about this and what's interesting for the customer? So we basically are able to cover multiple use cases with installing one system, where today, if you look in this part of the market, if they purchase a system from a solution provider that is only focusing on delivering the EVAC use case, very often they need to invest in a commercial sound system next to the safety system. This means they need to install two systems, where we basically say, if you use PRAESENSA in this segment of the market, we have one system only installed, which is covering multiple use cases, less systems installed, which is also sustainable. Less power consumption, less rack space use, less systems to maintain. This all comes with benefits if you have a system that is covering public address, background music, and voice alarm all in one. So what is the solution concept? So here you see a typical application. Not all components are mandatory, but I just want to run you through. So of course we have the PRAESENSA system itself, which consists of the system controller. We have our amplifiers, which can be 4-channel or 8-channel, and then we have the power supply, which is typically installed in a rack. And if you have a mid-size system, usually that is just one rack somewhere centrally being installed. So this is a fully IP-based system. So we run an IP ring into the premises or the building, and there we can connect various components. So we could connect, of course, the call station, which can deliver announcements, either a live speech or pre-recorded, but also allows you to connect a music source. And from the call station, you can also select the right music source for audio playing. So we have the safety use case, where we can connect to the fire alarm system. Either we do this in the field through our I/O module, or we connect it directly to the contacts that we have on our power supply, so you don't need to invest in additional equipment. Then I'm going further down the ring. You see here the automatic audio volume control in the room. So why is this interesting? So if you have a seminar room, and you have many people inside, during the coffee break, there is a lot of chatting going on. So people are having conversations, and the background noise in the room is rather high. If I now want to make my call that the presentation is continuing, I need to have a louder volume level for people to have a good speech intelligibility. What this automatic volume control automatically does is it measures the ambient noise level in the room. And when there is a lot of background noise from the audience which is having the coffee, it automatically tunes up the voice level a little bit, so that when you make the announcement that the presentation is continuing, people can also clearly understand it. While when the presentation is continuing, and the presenter is delivering his live speech, it is probably quiet in the room, then we also want to have the appropriate voice volume level. Also here, then this sensor automatically tunes down the volume to the right volume level, so that is also comfortable for the audience to listen to the presentation without the volume being too loud. So this is an optional component which really helps you to deliver the right experience to the audience with the right volume level based on the background noise. Well, then we have the wall control panel, which we can install somewhere in the room. There we can select the music sources and tune the volume up and down on the spot. And we have the server called the APAS, which is broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal to which our mobile clients can connect. And also here we can control the selection of the music source and also tune the volume of that. So this is all, of course, delivered through the 100 volts speaker line, where we have our loudspeakers installed for both the business applications as also the EVAC. This is an EN54 certified system. You see that by the end of line supervision board that you see on the loudspeaker line. Everything is supervised, so you also have your safety application covered. So now let's run you through the solution components that are actually delivering this promise to the customer. Because why do we believe that we can have a system which is delivering both good voice alarm as also the audio performance for commercial use? So here I have the first component, which is the system controller, and I'm focusing now not on all the features, but I just want to focus on those features which are actually contributing to this audio experience. So if we look at our system controller, this is a high definition device with a 24-bit 48 kilohertz performance for music routing. The audio sample rate is 48 kilohertz, 24-bit sample size. So this is really excellent audio quality, which is really usable for also high quality music performance. So we have the more cost-efficient version of that one. So this is our system controller small, which typically can be used in some of the venues that I've just presented. Both the large system controller as also the small system controller have the same audio performance. Only the small system controller is limited up to supporting 6 amplifiers, which is addressing more this mid-range of the market, where many of the systems offered on the market today are not delivering the audio performance as our system controller does. So then we come to the amplifier, because this obviously is a very important component in delivering good audio quality. So we have a signal to noise ratio of 107 dBA, which is outstanding and probably one of the best on the market. Also, if you look at the amplifier of PRAESENSA, basically every channel in the amplifier is an amplifier on its own with its own DSP. So we are really capable of, equalizing and tuning the right audio performance for each of the channels individually to make sure that we are really delivering a nice audio quality. These two, we can also have 2 sources on the channel. So if we have a speech coming through, then we can also make the music dunk during the call. This is also a nice feature which not everybody can do. And as mentioned, yeah, every channel has its own music source which can be routed, and also its own individual volume control which can be tuned. So this is our call station. On the call station, which has a touch screen, we have a menu for music selection. So also here from the call station, we can go into the menu and we select the right music source. which we can externally stream into the system over Dante. We also have a direct connection on the call station itself, where we can connect a music source, and from the call station, this can be selected and streamed in the desired zone. So then we have the APAS, which is our server for streaming audio into the system and broadcasting Wi-Fi to mobile clients. So here you see an example of how this looks like on a tablet. So here you can control background music sources, you can tune the volume levels, you can select the zone in which you would like to have the music played, like conference room 1, 2, 3, or 4, just to give an example, maybe at a hotel. You can stream this from internal memory, so you record your own playlist and you store it on this server, or you are streaming live internet radio through the internet. So there are multiple options here, giving you really some flexibility from the mobile device to deliver nice audio into the room. Also, if you have retail areas or maybe you have shopping malls, it's also possible to have pre-recorded commercial messages, and then you can play them throughout the premises, also for commercial use. So then we have this wall control panel, which is kind of, yeah, it looks a bit like, you know, a control of an air conditioning, but now it's not for air conditioning. It's actually for controlling the audio on the PA system. So you install it somewhere in the wall, and then you can scroll through. You can select your music source. You can control the volume. You can select the zone. And with this, it's very easy and very accessible to have audio in the premises for playing some music. So this is the ambient noise sensor, which I just talked about. So this allows the system to sense the background music in the area. Very relevant also in exhibition halls, for instance, or just the example that I gave in the conference room. When there is a lot of background noise from the audience, you need a different voice level than when everybody is focused on listening to a presentation. This is really a nice option that can really bring the sound experience to the next level. So this is also something which we have on offer to deliver this concept of added value beyond the safety. So we have some supporting marketing materials which we have available. So we have an application note created, which is just telling this story. This is for end users to see why does it make sense to invest in a PRAESENSA system instead of a system that is only focusing on delivering audio for voice alarm. It's telling the whole story of the benefits that we have that goes beyond the voice alarm and the components that we have in the portfolio also to deliver that. This is used for end users, but also for consultants. And as a system integrator, obviously, you can also use this to promote this concept. We have our PRAESENSA system configuration utility, which is an online tool to generate a bill of material, but also specification text for your projects. We have this on our consultant webpage. So also there, you can make use of and make an offer for the customer, or if you are a consultant and now listening to this webinar and you want to specify this for a customer, you can make use of this tool and generate specification texts so you can make a tender for your project. So thank you all for listening to the webinar. I will now stop the presentation.